How's guys? Anton here from Adventure Afrika, and with me I've got Brendan Staniforth from my favorite Maroela 3 publication.
Maroela Boom. There we
Maroela Boom, there we go. We're here in the brand new, well, it's still a Wrangler, it's still a Jeep, they still look the same, but it's got the 2-litre turbo now in, and there's a couple of new things on the inside, just a little bit more modern Jeep Wrangler. And Brendan, what do you think?
So first impressions, initially the 2-litre, you're not sure how's it going to go down. It feels more powerful than the outgoing 6-cylinder. The steering, they've improved something on the front end. So the 2 generations ago, they were quite horrible to drive.
Yeah.
The front didn't really want to turn, they wobbled and shook. This is actually quite comfortable, it's good and comfy. But there's a bit of an elephant in the room, a very thirsty elephant.
Yeah, I mean, this is a 2-litre turbo. We all thought that, oh, brilliant, we're stepping away from the 3.6 Pentastar V6 and we're going to get some nice fuel consumption, but I think this thing is still like a Land Cruiser V8. You don't really speak about fuel consumption.
Yeah, it's quite rough. So we've done various cars, the Sahara and the Rubicon. We've done it over gravel and tar. Yes, on day one the wind was blowing like a bastard. So we got to forgive it the wind, but I would say anywhere between 13 and 17 litres per 100, which is quite rough. In Gauteng, the Pentastar, if you were gentle with it, you could get towards the 10s.
Yeah.
You could reach the 10s.
That is on average 120 kilometers per hour, a steady foot. With this one, I mean, like you said, we're starting around 13 odd to 17 odd, and 13 was on the highway terrains for the Sahara and for the Sport. And with the big BF muds on the Rubicon, it just went up easy, a lot of times almost 70.
So there's one specific thing with the Jeep, and it's the first time I've experienced it. You and I spoke about it, and we said that was what made this car unique. But the first time we experienced it in Vleesbaai today is the fact that you can actually take the doors off. You can take the doors off, you can take the roof out, you can take all the panels off and out. So the way to look at a Jeep Wrangler, if you're looking for a new daily that's light on fuel and that's lovely to drive to work and back, this is not that car.
No, you get a highlight. They also take the doors off for you.
Well, after they've stolen.
Yeah, but the doors can come off.
But in the Jeep, this is probably one of the coolest toys. It's a toy for the people that have the money, that want to do rock climbing and go and drive through the riverbed and take the doors off and play music loud and have a jolt. There are very few cars standard off the shelf that are as capable as this car. I would then add a caveat, probably specifically in rock crawl. I would challenge you to find a more capable standard car to do rock crawling with than this.
Well, you know what? I mean, you call it a toy, but you look at something like the Sahara, and the Sahara is pretty much also the 2-litre. You don't have the front diffs, you don't have the rear diff. You pretty much have a Jeep that every body panel can come off. I mean, so you can still have fun with it over the weekend, go and impress your girlfriend or your boyfriend or both. But you can still drive it to work and back. You can daily it. And
this car you could easily daily. This car is comfortable.
It is very comfortable.
They're doing 120, 130 k's an hour at the coast, and the wind's blowing. You can hear. It's not. You're not thinking, "God, I'm going to go deaf." It's good. It's comfortable.
They definitely also did fix the noise problem in the vehicle. I mean, as you can say, we're sitting now in the vehicle, we're doing 120, and you can barely hear the noise. Listen, you can't say the same about the Rubicon, because that thing has got those sounds like a flippin' family of seals that you're dragging along. But it's quiet in this vehicle,
but if
and it's
this
nice.
is fit to purpose for a guy that wants a Jeep but that wants to daily it, the Rubicon is fit to purpose to a different purpose.
Yeah.
The guy that wants to do real serious off-roading. I have my reservations about the 2-litre. So I know why they've done it. They've done it because of emissions.
Yeah.
So in the States, Jeep as a brand needs to work on emissions as a collective, also to sell cars into Europe, that sort of. naturally aspirated 6 cylinders are never going to win the emissions race. So a 2 litre, when you strap it into a lab, it can perform exceptionally well in terms of grams per kilometre and emissions.
And this one is still 200 kilowatts, which is a few kilowatts less than the 3.6, but it's got 400 newton meters of torque, which is about, what did I say, I think 40 or 50
newtons
or 6, it's more, it's much more.
So more torque, but me personally, for now, until we've had a second bite at the car in your home environment, up in Gauteng, I personally would still rather have the 6 cylinder and have the V6. I think the Turbo 4, if it's not lighter on fuel, all you've done is added complexity in terms of the turbo.
Okay, so here's the other thing. They have added quite a bit of new features into this vehicle. I mean, you've got adaptive cruise control now. You've got, you don't have lane keep assist, but you've got, blind spot warnings. You've got 6 airbags in a Jeep, and I mean, they sit here in the pillars.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite impressive.
This is the cool one, so we can get our hands in here to hold on to the roll bar.
Now, by the way, Jeep, you're missing a sissy bar here at the top. Just maybe
it's like a strap or
a strap or something. But listen, I like the vehicle. I think it's a nice vehicle to have to go to work and back, and you've got something fun to do over the weekend. You don't need the Rubicon. I think the guys that's going to buy the Rubicons, they immediately are going to give it a lift and put bigger tires on and everything, because the Rubicon is pretty much ready to do batshit crazy things, and if you lift it, and you can do really batshit crazy things with it. But yeah, pricing, we're looking at.
It feels a little bit expensive to me, but it's from 1.3, right? 1.2.
1269, I think, is the Rubicon.
Okay, and then one odd for the Sahara.
Yes, for the sport. The Sahara is in the middle.
Sahara. So it does feel a little bit expensive to me, because let's address the elephant that's not in the room. But for
you mean the baby elephant?
Well, a different elephant. But there's, you can get a Raptor for the same money, and a Raptor has 3 diff locks. So it's a different product. It's not this. Its doors can't come off. But that's tough. It's a tough space to play in.
But then there's also, you must remember the baby elephant, the little Jimny.
Exactly.
Because the Jimny is pretty much this, the teeny weeny little one, and I mean, it can pretty much do the same thing that this vehicle can do.
For less than half.
For a third of the price.
So I would do a Jimny. Me personally, I would probably have a Jimny and spend some of the extra change on lifting it in a slightly bigger wheel and whatever. Air lockers, doesn't matter. Then you've got this, you've got Raptor in close quarters. For 100 grand less, for those clients that want that, you can have a Cruiser 76.
Yeah.
So now we've entered hallowed ground. Okay, add a few hundred, you can have an Ineos. So it's a lot of hundreds, but yes, you can have an Ineos. It's a difficult.
You can have a Prado.
You can have a Prado. So look, this is maybe the thing that the Jeep's got going for it, is a Jeep is none of those things. It doesn't take itself seriously. You can take the doors and there's a rather loud Peugeot. You can take the doors off, you can take the roof out, the windscreen can fold down. They say you can wash out this interior. God, I would not do it at 1.2 bar.
Pressure hosing this thing, I wonder. I really wonder.
It's got electric seats and seat heaters.
Yeah.
No. But
wash it out and electrocute your ass.
Yeah, exactly. But it is cool. It really is cool. For those guys that are keen on the Jeep lifestyle and have the money, there will be no other car for them. It's like you. There's no other car other than Hilux.
Well, yeah. But anyway, guys, on that note, listen, I will put down all the links below. I'll get Brendan's article from the Maroela 3. And yeah, have a read. Let us know what you think. I'm Anton from Adventure Afrika. And Brendan, thanks, eh?
Okay, look.
Cheers.